Hey, it's Savvy Nick, and today we'll be installing the latest stable release of Debian Linux, Debian 10, Buster. We'll go through a complete install today. First, we'll go ahead and go to the Debian.org website, download the ISO file necessary for the install. Then we'll create a bootable disk from this ISO file, and afterwards, we'll go ahead and install Debian 10 on a computer or server of our choice. So let's first start out by downloading the ISO file so we can create a bootable disk out of it. I went ahead and went to Debian.org, as you can see above. And then what I'm going to go ahead and select is a CD USB ISO images. Here I can see that I have the download option, so I'm going to go ahead and do this using HTTP. Click on that link. I want the latest and greatest stable release of Debian, so I'm going to go ahead and select this. And then I will select the type of architecture I want out of the list here. You really usually have only two choices, the 64-bit or the 32-bit version. Depends on what architecture your processor is. Mine's a 64-bit, and nowadays most computers are 64-bit, so this is a safe bet usually. These other ones are special embedded systems that you can also download for. We're not messing with those today, so let's go ahead and select AMD 64 or the 32-bit version i386. And let's just scroll to the bottom here. Don't get lost. That net install is perfectly fine for us. We will probably need the internet in order to go ahead and finish the installer. So if you don't have internet, you'll have to find the complete ISO file with all the packages already on it. I won't be showing this today, but let's go ahead and select the net installer. This makes things easy and it's quick to go ahead and download. After it's downloaded, we'll go ahead and create a bootable disk from the ISO file. And we can do this with a USB stick or CD DVD. The app I'll be using to create a bootable USB stick or CD DVD is called Balena Etcher, and I find it really easy to use. You can find it on balena.io. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description below. So let's run through it real quickly. We'll select an image. So that's the one we just got finished downloading. So you can see here we got that Debian 10 net install ISO file. Open that up. It already has our USB stick selected here. You can go ahead and change this if this is not correct. You want to make sure you've went ahead and selected the USB stick that you want to use, or CD, DVD. And then after you've done that, simple, you just hit flash. And it's asking me for a password here to go ahead and confirm. And after that, it's starting to flash the disk. So in a few minutes here, we'll have a bootable disk. And after creating the bootable disk, we'll go ahead and put it into a computer or server of your choice. And bring up the install by changing the boot order in BIOS to first boot off the newly created bootable disk. For more information on this, you can go ahead and research it for your computer, how to bring up BIOS and how to change the boot order. And once you've gotten to the boot order, you'll find the disk. So mine's called SanDisk here. You'll find that in the boot order, and you'll just select that specific media to go ahead and boot first. Then restart your computer or save and exit, and it should boot right into the installer. Here it says the flash is complete, so I'm going to go ahead and take this USB out of this particular computer and take it to the one I want to install Debian 10 on. And then after I'm done changing the boot order, I'll be in the installer. So let's work on that now. If you were successful in booting off the disk that we have created, you'll see an image or a screen very similar to this, where it asks you what kind of install do you want to run: the graphical install, the regular install, which is command line. You have some advanced options and other help. We're going to go ahead and make this easy on us, do the graphical installation. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter on that. Very first screen we get is the selection for what language we want to use for the installer. We're going to go ahead and select English in my case. Where we're from, or the location that we're at right now. I'm in the US, so I went ahead and selected that. what kind of keyboard do we have. I have an American English keyboard, so the default's fine for me. Right now we're just unpacking a couple things that are going to be necessary for the install. Give this a few moments. It's picking up a network here, making sure that it can go ahead and find the internet so we can install, since this is a network install. Host name, you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to say local for this install. Continue. The domain name, the default's okay. You can also change this if you'd like. This is for the local network. Then to configure our root user here, we can go ahead and put a password for our root user. I'm going to go ahead and put in something, hit continue, move on. And then it asks you for a user if you want to create one. We do. I'm going to create one called Savvy Nick. Hit continue. And it's going to ask for a username for that account. So the last screen was the name. This is the username. It's going to ask for a password on this one as well. Put one in. And now we're setting up a couple more things here before we get some more options. Here we'll configure our clock. So what time zone are you in? I'm going to go ahead and select Pacific today. And now we get to select how we want to partition the disk that we have. Make sure that the disk that you are installing Debian on has nothing on it, no data, because after this step here, we will actually wipe everything on that disk. So you want to make sure that there, again, is no data on there, that everything's clean and clear. Go ahead and, to make it easy, do the guided using the entire disk. Here it specifies what disks you have available. I only have this one available, making it easy on me. I know that it's cleaned, so note up here, as it says, note that all data on the disk you select will be erased, but not before you have confirmed that you really want to make the changes. So very soon. All files in one partition. Since this is recommended for new users, let's just go ahead and do this instead of changing up how the partitions work. As you see, you do have different options. And here is finally where it says finish partitioning and writing changes to disk. After we do this, we will commit our changes to the disk. And it says, do you want to write changes to the disks? So I selected yes, and I'm going to hit continue. It's just another warning. And here's where it starts installing the base system. This will take a few minutes. On this screen, you get the option of whether you want to go ahead and scan another CD, DVD, USB stick for packages. I'm going to go ahead and say no, I don't have any packages I want to look at. After this, it asks what kind of archive do you want to grab the Debian packages from. So it gives you countries. You want to select a nearby country if you can. United States is the country I'm currently in, so I'm going to select that. And then it has different types of mirrors. I'm going to go ahead and select the default mirror. If you have an HTTP proxy, go ahead and enter that information in here. If none, just leave that blank. Hit continue. And now we are configuring the package manager. This again will take a few minutes. Here we'll get the option if you want to go ahead and participate in the package usage survey. I select no. You can select yes if you'd like to. I'm going to go ahead and continue here, and it's going to finish up installing. Here is something important to notice, you do have the option of installing a desktop environment, and if you don't select a specific type, you're going to get a terminal window at the end of your install and not have a GUI to actually use. So we're going to go ahead and select one. I encourage you to go ahead through all of these different types and figure out which one you like the look of the most. You can do this by just simply Googling these names and looking at kind of the layout of each. I like GNOME, so I'm going to go ahead and select that one. I don't really need a print server. I'll take the standard system utilities. You can also include a web server or SSH server, as well as install it on your own after the fact. It's very easy, so I usually deselect any of those. Go ahead and hit continue. And now we're going to retrieve files and install them from the internet to finish up our Debian install. So give this a few minutes. We're almost finished here. It's going to ask us whether we want to install the grub bootloader on our hard disk. Yes, we do want to do that. Go ahead, continue on here. We don't want to enter the device manually. We'll go ahead and select it since it's already there for us. Hit continue on here. It's going to take a moment to install the bootloader. Finish up the installation. And it tells you that the installation is complete. Congratulations, guys. Now we'll go ahead and hit continue. It's going to reboot here in a moment. Just shutting down some things. As you can see, we're booting into our new Debian Linux install, which is Debian 10. Give this a few moments while some processes start up. And hopefully we get a desktop screen here in a moment. We might have to log in, of course, because we created a user. And here we go, my user. Put your password in, sign in. And here we are. We are on our GNOME freshly installed Debian 10 desktop. Now, I haven't used Debian 10 myself quite yet. This is a fairly new release. Sometime, I believe, in early July it was released, maybe July 2nd. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. So I'm just going to look around real quick. We didn't put anything special on here, but let's see if we can hit activities. Oh, here we go. And, of course, the typical software that you get pre-installed. Evolution, I'm not sure what this is. Looks like something with email. Rhythmbox, LibreOffice, so much like their Microsoft Office, or this one in particular is like their Microsoft Word. Files, so for system files, software, this seems to be a new icon. Not sure exactly. Help. And there's more applications to show. This just shows what screens you have currently open, it looks like. And then typical network settings. So it doesn't seem like too much has changed, at least in the GNOME option. But it does still look good, and it's great because it's a free platform that you can install fairly quickly and with ease, and technically even distribute. So it's a great thing to have, and I'm very happy for the people who constantly spend their time improving Linux, specifically Debian. So that's the end of this complete install of Debian 10. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys and what other information or installs you'd like to see, as well as reviews or whatever else you might like. I'll catch you in another vid. Thanks.